Hello and welcome to Just Ride Bikes. I'm David and you join me for my last roundup of quite interesting tech news from the world of cycling before Christmas. This week featuring some brand new fat 40mm wide tyres, a new Shimano group set, a possible rear light to stop motorists close passing you, but we start with product recalls which are happening far too frequently these days. What on earth is going on? What's happening in the bike industry? Should we be worried and should we demand better quality control for the bikes that we spend a lot of money on? And to illustrate my point about there being too many recalls, there have been another just this week. Bianchi issued a recall on its Impulso gravel bike because of concerns that the one-piece carbon fibre handlebar could fail, which is something you definitely don't want to happen. The last thing you want failing on your bike is a handlebar or stem. Apparently, according to Bianchi, a quality control inspection identified a defect with the carbon fibre handlebar. But sorry, this is a bike that launched back in 2023. It's not a brand new bike that's just launched. It's been out for a few years. And surely this safety control should have picked up the defect before it left the factory, before it was shipped halfway around the world into a shop near you and you bought it and are now getting an email from your local bike shop or Bianchi Direct that the bike you've been riding for probably quite a while has a safety issue with it. Bianchi isn't alone, however, because just a few days ago, Trek also issued a recall for its Domani and Checkpoint E bikes, centering around the chainring bolts being loose on those models. And also last week, Cube issued a recall for some bikes in its range, a New Road I think it was, because of concerns around the front fork disc brake mount and the carbon fibre resin in that part of the bike. But thankfully, recalls are pretty rare. But it does make you wonder, should you worry about a recall when you buy a new bike, a new product, a new pair of wheels, a handlebar, and 2 years later, say, get a recall for that bike you've been riding quite happily for some time. So why is it happening? Why are we seeing so many product recalls at all? Is it just a coincidence, or are bike companies cutting corners? Is it not enough quality control? I don't know the answer. Modern bikes are very complex, of course, and brands are always pushing the limits to make the bikes as light and performance focused as possible. And the rising price of materials, parts, shipping, labour puts added strain on a manufacturing supply chain as well. So it's probably not a single thing going on, but a multitude of reasons. I don't know the reasons. I'd love to know and really dig into why it's happening, because it is massively concerning that there are the recalls at all. But thankfully, recalls are pretty rare. But it does make you wonder, should you worry about a recall when you buy a new bike, a new product, a new pair of wheels, a handlebar? Could you get a recall 2 years down the line? Well, hopefully not. So let me know your thoughts on product recalls. Have you been affected by a product recall? I'd love to hear from you as well. So drop a comment down below on your experience of recalls and why you think they're happening seemingly too often. Shimano's GRX Wireless group set is now more affordable because following on from their launch of a fully wireless group set just this year, a new cheaper version is now available, which I guess is an answer to SRAM's rival Explore group set. Only it's not that much cheaper and it's more expensive than rival. The new group set is called RX 717 and one rung below the range-topping RX 820 I rode at Badlands earlier this year. And essentially it's a copy of the group set. So fully wireless shifters and a new rear derailleur that's fully wireless with an internal battery. And like the group set, it's 1x12 only. There's no 2x version yet because I guess they're saving their wireless front mech for a Dura launch next year, possibly, that's my guess. So 1x12 only with the same 1052 cassette as on that group set and on their mountain bike group set 2, which essentially is the same as Dior XT and XTR as well. The launch is actually just the rear mech and shifters. For the rest of the parts, you either use the low level RX 610 components or go up to the 820 for those parts if you want. So you can mix and match to suit your preference and budget requirements as well. So it's not a full group set, just those individual parts. The new rear mech costs £380, so not cheap at all, which is just £50 less than the RX 827. So that's a small price difference. I can't think why it's such a small price difference really. And why wouldn't you save yourself 50 quid just for the benefit of saving 50 quid? Shimano doesn't share any details on what is different. They have the same design, the same features like impact recovery and Shadow RS tech, but there's no details on the weight difference, material differences, or the jockey wheel differences. So what you're getting for £50 more for going the RX 820 is unclear. And if we are comparing that new group set in a head-to-head with SRAM Rival Explorer, which I think is fair, that rear mech on its own is currently retailing for £315, but as it's been on the market for 4 or 5 months, I've seen it discounted to £250 already. Right, let's talk tyres, because earlier this year, back in May, I think it was, Pirelli launched a brand new all-road endurance road tyre in a 40mm width, which these are here. I'll be testing these over the next few weeks. Looks like the ideal winter tyre, and Pirelli really do have their finger on the pulse of what lots of cyclists actually want: wide tyres for endurance bikes, for gravel bikes, for riding in crappy conditions and smoothing out the rough roads we all have to contend with. And yeah, I'll be riding these for the next few weeks, and stay tuned for a full review in January. Should be the ideal tyre for the conditions right now, which are best described as only suitable for ducks. As many of you know, I rode and tested the company's P0TLR race tyre, which comes and maxes out in a 40mm width earlier this year. Links to those videos down below. Loads of interest in those videos and the results of my testing with 30 and 35mm wide tyres, and shows how much interest and demand there is for wide tyres for road bikes, and gravel bikes now have space for wide tyres for comfort and traction benefits. And this is a perfect tyre to follow that testing, because it's more suited to winter riding when it's wet and muddy, and also light gravel as well. And it comes in a range of widths. It starts at 28, 30 and 32 and goes up apparently to 55, which is massive. But 40 right now is a sweet spot for a bike like the 51 Seeker, the Bridge Surveyor, the Giant Defy, the NV3, all these endurance bikes that take 40mm wide tyres, Specialized Roubaix, and also for turning your gravel bike into a road bike for winter riding. And for winter riding, the tyre looks ideal. With that tread pattern, it looks like a mini motorbike tyre. So compared to the P0TLR, it's a tougher, more durable, rugged tyre. And the tread compound, which is now more eco-friendly as well in its manufacturing, designed to offer more grip in wet conditions, and also better puncture protection as well from the tread, and a tougher construction, a tougher sidewall as well. So a much more rugged tyre, but also heavier too, which is a consequence of that durability you want. So on the scales, it weighs 519 grams, which is not light, but 40mm rugged, durable tyre. So is it worth the weight? Is it slow and cumbersome, or is it a tyre that will just glide through the crappy conditions of the winter? Well, stay tuned for a review, and retails for £75, but it's always a deal on if you shop around. So yeah, let me know what you think of a 40mm wide tyre and this sort of winter focused tread design and construction by dropping a comment down below. Are you fed up with close passes? Well, here's a rear light designed to reduce close passes, but would it actually work? That's a big question mark. So this product, this rear light, is called the Elbow, I guess, and costs £25, and you fix it to the seat post and it sticks out into the road by 750mm and pumps out 120 lumens with 8 flash modes. And it does remind me of the old-fashioned pop-out reflectors, remember those from the 90s and 80s? And the idea behind the concept is drivers give you a wider berth because they think you're wider than you actually are. I think you're a wider vehicle on the road, and hopefully stop drivers trying to squeeze past you because they see you're a bicycle and you're narrow and slim. And yeah, hopefully stop the close passes from happening. Now, I'm as open-minded as you are about new ideas, but I do struggle to see how it would make a difference out there because it's not that wide, it's only like that wide. If it was a meter wide, maybe. But maybe I should buy one and test it out myself, and maybe it will make a difference. Yeah, remains to be seen. Let me know your thoughts and whether you think it's a good product by dropping a comment down below. But that's my weekly roundup before we head into Christmas. Hope you have a great Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you in 2026 for more content right here on Just Ride Bikes. And make sure you watch my video of the best bikes I've ridden and tested in the past 12 months by watching the video right up here.